When I go to transactions, I'm seeing every single transaction, line by line by line. So if the journal entry was a 3-line journal entry, you're seeing all 3 lines, with every transaction from last year, this year, and if you're in next year as well. Now, if I want to find a particular transaction, again, I type ACE, there's my customer code called ACE. There's every transaction hit my general ledger from my account, my customer called ACE. Okay? Or if I want to search for a particular PO number, I can type in a PO. A lot of times when you receive a purchase order, you'll receive 2 or 3 times against the same PO number, and then you'll finally put the AP entry in, or you'll close the purchase order. Now you want to, as you're closing, you want to match up, look at all your receipts for it. But if I do a PO number, I type it in, but I don't. Then what will happen is that every single one of those will show up, and you can drill down and look at them. Another thing you can do, let's add a filter here, and I'll just go with where the source is, say, a journal entry, so a general ledger transaction. And I'm just going to go down the end, because I know my first ones are. Let's go with, oops. Okay, so here's an entry that I made. It's just a journal entry. And what happens when you get your bank statement, typically what you'll do is you'll enter in all the stuff off the bank statement, where maybe it's leases that come out of your account directly, or rent payments, or service charges, and you get the same thing every month, but they're not always exactly the same number. So the charges are slightly different each month. So what happens, all you need to do now is hit the copy button from a past journal entry, and then just tweak the numbers. These are fully editable before you post it. Once you put in all the new numbers, you hit the post button, and then it posts it. We also allow you from here, in BViessentials, when you find a journal entry that you now want to reverse, you write down the number, and you just close that down, and you go into that reversal button. Instead, you just hit the reverse button, and if you want to reverse the whole thing exactly as it was, you just hit post. Otherwise, again, you can tweak the numbers to what you want. If it's for instance, I showed that earlier as well in AR, same way it works. If I find an invoice from a customer, I can drill down and credit it right from here as well. Doing journal entries, simply just create or reverse from here as well. Adding new accounts can be done from here. Recurring entries, you can add those in here, but we're a little bit different on recurring. In BVision, when you have a recurring entry set up, that whoever signs into BVision, it just automatically runs those journal entries in the background. You don't really know that they did them. What we do instead is when we log in, or that's actually set by user, there's a security setting that says who's responsible for them, or which people are responsible for them. And what it does, instead of just posting them, we present you with a screen that looks like this. So all the recurring entries would show up on here, and you can say, oh, when I look at them first, you can view them, make sure they're still current, and then you can hit post, and you can choose to edit it before you post it as well. You don't have to do it exactly the same way that the last recurring entry was.
Can you hold it as well?
Yes. Yeah. Until such time that you post it, it'll keep popping up. When I log into BVEssentials, if I've got some entries that have not yet been posted, it'll say, hey, you haven't done these yet. And you can say, no problem, just put it away, and then tomorrow it'll pop them up again, or later in the day you log in again, until finally you get rid of them. And then what happens, as soon as you post it, it advances by the next cycle, whether it's weekly, monthly, or however often it happens. Okay, so that's the payables, the receivables, general ledger, and there's a bunch of other stuff in there that's time saving. This one here, nobody's seen yet. Employees and time cards. So same as BVision, you go to employee, you see their address, their amounts, deductions, benefits, time cards, and their last year's and this year's earnings. So no big deal there. But in the time card area, even though it's very similar to the way BVision does it, it's much easier to enter. So I go new time card, You don't have to actually go in and change the schedule, put in the new period, because we figure out that if you're doing a time card on February the 28th, it's going to be period 4 if you're on a 24 period cycle. So I pick February 28th, and then I just start putting my employees in. So I pick the employee, they're here, if it's salary, it comes in automatically. If you need to add anything else to it, if you want to give them some overtime, overtime they get 12 hours at $55 miles per day. And then next employee, I can pick my next one. Notice when I add an employee, what's happening on the top there is that it's recalculating their net pay and everything as I add it. So I come down to here and I add a new amount. So I'm adding, say, regular pay and 22 at 22. It's recalculating this immediately without having to go total every time you do a business. And then you can simply either just save this or hit post time cards. Or you can do them individually and post an individual time card. And if I just save and close it, it just shows up on my list as an unposted time card. Actually, I got my unposted ones turned off right now because my functionality I've got set up for. But it shows up as a kind of status called unposted. And viewing is the same thing there. I can go back and view past time cards and see exactly what they were. Brand new module. Yeah, if you set up whatever you've got set up in the system setup, it'll no. What the problem is that Business Vision does not have places for more than 10 deductions, 10 benefits. So we're going to change that when we're going to actually move out of it. As soon as I finish this, I'll explain where we're going. But the tables that Business Vision uses are very limiting for what we can actually do with them at this point. But we are going to be making some changes there too. You'll notice the users of Business Vision or BVEssentials that we've got in company settings now. We've got all of the Business Vision setup stuff. So sequence numbers, for instance. What's really nice about our sequence numbers is we allow you in here even if you're in Business Vision or if somebody else is in Business Vision. So and any of the settings that you want to change, we don't block. You don't have to have everybody out first. So you can get into system setup without it. We looked at it very, very carefully and to see what we would break if we allowed that. And basically, until we hit the save button, we've done nothing to change. So, sure, if you change, and you got to think about this, if you change next invoice number to be one more up, and I don't hit save yet, as soon as I hit the save button, next person's invoice is going to get that new next invoice number. So, not really a problem. I don't know if anybody's ever had it where you'll be doing an invoice one day and you find that, hey, that invoice has already been used before, so now you have to get everybody out of Business Vision or an extra order number or whatever it happens to be. All right? So all your setups here, your general ledger, segments, division setup, all the inventory, yeah. So basically all the control accounts is all in here now, so you don't have to go back to Business Vision anymore. So with this version of BVEssentials 6.4 and somewhat 6.5 only has more than 6.4 as a Canadian payroll as far as features are concerned. But basically with the 6.4 version, the only thing you need there are some reports you need to run from Business Vision still because we haven't got them all in there yet. But other than that, you can do pretty well everything in BVEssentials. I missed some features, but if you want to know what they all are, we'll have this document posted on our website, plus I'll be recording videos for every new feature as well.